Hello guys, so in this video we'll implement global cache practically for a single integration node. Okay, so this video is basically continuation of my previous video. If you haven't gone through my previous video, I strongly recommend you to go through it before watching this video. So you can find the link of my previous video in the description. Okay, so let's get started. In my previous video, I have explained you like how we can enable global cache, and also I have already enabled it. I'll not show you that again. I'll just start by implementing the application now. I will implement a scenario basically which will load a complete XML into cache. I have this XML and I want to load this XML into cache so that different applications may be running on different execution groups or maybe running on the different integration nodes, right? Those applications may access this XML, right? Access this XML from the cache and make use of it according to the requirement. Maybe some application convert it into JSON, or some application will try to find out the price based on the title. Okay, so these kind of things, right? So we'll load this XML into cache and we'll basically get it from different applications and see how we can do it. Okay, so in global cache implementation, we require a Java code. This is impossible without a Java code. Okay, so in IAB we have two options. Either we can go through the Java compute node, or we can make use of external Java file and we can invoke it using eSQL. Okay, so we'll basically implement the second option now. What is the concept which we are required to follow here? We'll follow the map concept here, right? In Java we have a map concept, right? You can read about the map concept in Java. In map we have a key and a value. Okay, so there will be a map, and in that map we'll have a key, and that particular key will have a value. So this value is that we are concerned about. In this value we will load this complete XML. Okay, and this XML I am going to load in the form of a blob. Okay, so I'll convert this XML in blob first, and then I'll load it into this value, this this value, and I will get this value based on my map and key, right? I'll have a map, and inside that map I'll have a key, and then I'll get this XML based on my map and key. Okay, so this is the concept which I am going to follow. So I'm going to build it from scratch. So I'll recommend you guys, if you want, you can also open your toolkit, and with me you can start building your application, right? Just follow me, just follow the steps. Okay, this is how we learn. Now let me first create a Java project. Okay, name it anything. I'm naming it global cache project, PRJ. Now you will have to add three jar files: configure build path, add external jars. So these are the three jar files basically you have to add, and you don't have to worry about these jar files. These are already present in your installation directory. So I have also copied the directories: this jplugin2 jar, java compute.jar, and integration.api jar. Okay, so let me get these jar files. I'm just following the path which I have shown you just on my notepad. Okay, so I have imported the jar files. Now I'll have to add a class give any name, finish. Now just declare a variable. I am declaring a string variable which will contain my map name. So I'll give any map name. Maybe I need a map name, right? The concept is I need a map name. Under that map name, there will be a key. That key will always be a string value, anything, right? And corresponding to that key, we'll have a value. Okay, this is the concept. Now, let me go ahead and uh, declare a method which will load the XML. Okay, into cache. Now, name. I am naming it like load XML to cache. Now I'm having this method accept two parameters. One is key is always a string, and other thing it will accept the value. Okay, what value? Value which I want to store in my map. And in this scenario, I want to store my XML in the form of a blob. So in Java, byte kind of variable can store the blob value. Okay, now we need global map, MB global map. Okay, we need MB global map object to get the name of this map, and after we get the name, then using that object we can load this value corresponding to a particular key. Now MB global map, just hover the mouse here and import this so that this error is gone. Now map is equal to MB global map. Inside that we'll have a method basically which helps us to get the map name. Just now we got the map name. Now surround with try catch. Yes. Now using this global map object we can put means we are loading the value. Which value? Inside this key we are loading this value, this XML, right? So these values we'll get from the eSQL code when we will call this Java file from eSQL. So these parameters will define in eSQL and they'll get and those parameters will be copied here. Okay, so by doing this my XML will be loaded into this map. Now let's make this code more effective. There are chances that this particular key, I mean my map already contains this particular key. So just add a if condition. If map contains key, okay, it will accept a key parameter. If this contains my key, then map dot, we don't have to load the key value then, right? Just update key and here XML. Okay, else this is correct, put it inside else. Now this code is effective now. Okay, so this is the code wherein will load my XML into this cache. Now some application will try to get the cache after we load the XML value inside it. Now how we can get it? So we'll also basically write a method which will get this XML. Okay, now let's write that method below it. And see, I want here I am loading an XML in the form of a blob, and from get method I will get this XML in the form of a blob. Okay, so I'll make this method return blob type, which is byte in Java, get cache value. Okay, and this will accept key. Okay, we'll add return statement below. Let me in initially let me load null into this XML. Now so I did nothing. I declared an XML which is a byte type, and initially it is null. Now again we'll get the map name. So write the same thing here. I'm just copying it. Now write XML is equal to map dot. Here we are getting. Okay, just write key. But see, this XML is of blob type, and this map is of MB global map type. So we'll have to provide the casting here. So cast it. Surround it. Okay, so let me put it inside this try block. Now this is returning something, so let me basically add a return statement. Okay, return XML. Now everything is correct now. So I am done writing my Java code. Now let's quickly go to integration development perspective. Create a library. Let's put into a library. Name this library as global cache library. Finish it. Add this project into this library so that multiple applications can easily refer it. Now create application quickly. Get global cache app. Finish. New message flow. Main flow. Provide a schema. Give any schema. Schema is nothing but a folder inside which your flow and ESQL file will be there. Okay, so finish it. Let me make it HTTP web service. HTTP import. Okay, HTTP reply. And we need compute. Where is routing? Routing, yes. Take route to label, one for put, one for get, get, post, Okay, let me quickly create get subflow. Get. Okay, add a compute here quickly. Get cache. Okay, close it. Provide, drag and drop this flow here. Connect the terminals. Here do nothing, just call cookie entire message. Provide some URL like endpoint like get cache. Okay, input message parsing is XML because we will load the XML here. Parser option, no, don't. Okay, it's fine. Provide the label name, get post. One more thing, go to advanced and check set destination list so that it can automatically detect my get and post. Now quickly create a post subflow. Load global cache. Okay, subflow is created. Add compute node here. Load cache. Drag and drop this flow here. Okay, let it be. Now do some coding here. Now I want to put some value inside my cache. So let me remove this unwanted code. Now declare a blob variable. Now inside this blob, see, I am getting XML, but I want that XML in the form of a blob. So I want to convert that XML into blob, because in the form of blob only I will load that XML into cache. So in order to convert the XML into blob, I need ASBT string function. Okay, so don't bother about this ASBT string function. I'll take a different session on that. As far as this session is concerned, just understand that this ASBT string function is converting my XML tree into blob. That's it. Just remember that. Okay. So here I will have my input XML. It will take some parameters like encoding, and also it can take CCSID. Okay, so this way it will convert anything. It will convert the subtree which is after my input rotor XML and SE in the form of a blob. Okay, it will convert this thing, this whole thing into blob. Okay, now I want to call this method which is responsible for loading value into cache, right? So how I can do it using eSQL. So let me load XML to cache. Okay, let me have a function or procedure here in eSQL also, and using that we'll call external procedure, external method. Now see, write those values here which this expects. It expects a key and a blob type. Okay, so I am passing any key. I'm just hard coding any value which is a string and this thing, right? Now you have to create this procedure here. Create procedure, same name. Okay, these parameters will be copied here. Just write like that. Okay, now this procedure, right, this procedure is being called from here. Now when this is called, it will basically call the external Java procedure, and these parameters will be copied. Value of these parameters will be copied here. Okay, so this is the syntax. I am calling external procedure. So let me first write and okay, it's language Java. Okay, external name. Here we'll provide the class name. What is my class name? Global cache class, and dot the method which we want to call. This is my method. Save it. Now always remember, this name and this name should match, and this name and this name should match. Okay, for sake of simplicity I kept all the names similar, but these two and these two can be different. Okay, now I have successfully written the code to load the value into cache. Now let me go inside this to get the value. Let me get rid of unwanted code. Here I'll just write, see, here we'll have this thing. Okay, we'll have to call this code which also expects the key. Okay, now let's quickly write a code. Declare some blob kind, right, and inside that we we are returning the XML in the form of a blob. Okay, and this method is responsible for returning us, this is the same key name, right, using which we loaded the value. Okay, same using the same key name we'll get the value. Now quickly write create procedure this thing. Okay, this expect and this return globe. Okay, wait, Java external name, same thing, class name dot method name. Okay, now see, after getting this XML, suppose I want this XML in my output, right? So this I'm getting this XML in the form of a blob. Now let's basically convert this blob back into XML. So how we can do it? With the create statement, we will have to use a parse clause, and using that we can achieve this. So let's create a output row. Output root, which is of XML and SC kind of domain, XML and SC, right? And its child name will be XML and SC, master name. Okay. Now create last child of root root dot XML and SC parse this XML, this blob thing. We'll use the folder bit stream option. Okay, CCSID will take from the input coded char set ID. Okay, this is options actually. Okay, so let's make it something effective. If I'm able to get this XML, then only write this code. If XML is not null or XML is not blank, then only write this code, else just set output root dot message provide some string like problem getting cache, and if there is something wrong, let me see what is wrong. Then okay, now the code is complete. Let me deploy it. There is a problem. Let's see. An error occurred. Global cache get cache value could not be found. That's because I haven't provided the reference. Okay, you have to provide a reference of this library into my application. Now deploy it. Now my code is deployed. Okay, so let's load the value into cache. Get global cache. I have already created some projects. Okay, let's write http host execution group port number. Okay, this XML I want to load. Input message passing implementation. Okay, send it. I'm not getting any response. Let me see. Okay, because I haven't written any line, let me write something. Dot XML nsc dot message fully loaded. Let me deploy it again. What is happening? Yeah, values are successfully loaded now. This XML is successfully loaded now. Try to get it. Select no. Copy this URL. Go here. Select get from here. Here I have selected post. Okay, because I'm calling post now. Select get to get the value. See, I'm able to get the value. That means the value successfully loaded into cache and I'm successfully able to get it. But I'm getting it, trying to get it from the same application and same execution group. Now let's quickly create another application basically. Okay, and deploy it on another execution group and see. So I will create an application. Let me close all this. Close all. For safe side, not for safe side, for sake of time saving, let me copy it somewhere. Okay, let me copy this code. This is get code. Okay, now suppose there is an application which basically wants to convert this XML into JSON. Okay, so I get cache to JSON, create a quick application. This is the message flow. Okay, this is the schema. Quickly open it. get rid of unwanted code. Okay, quickly write the code which we have copied. Okay, write this. Provide the reference. Declare. Okay, now instead of output root, make it environment, so that from environment I can copy into JSON. Okay, set output root dot JSON dot data, copy this whole tree. Deploy it. Provide a value here. Get JSON. Deploy it on EG2. See now, this application is trying to get, this application is deployed on another EG execution group, and it is trying to get the value from global cache. What is the value in global cache? The XML. So it will fetch that value from global cache and convert it into JSON. Okay. HTTP localhost and it get JSON, right? I think it was get JSON. Yeah. So let me hit it. Body. Unsupported method get. Why? Have I deployed it? Okay. This port number is different. This is something like, see, my XML is converted into JSON. That means on different execution group, I have deployed an application, right? And which is converting into, which is getting this XML from the cache, right? This is on different execution group. Still, it is getting this value. Okay. So I have loaded some value into my cache, and different application which is deployed on different execution group is able to get that value. Okay, so this is a big thing, right? Okay, and one more thing, guys. See here, this is my catalog server. Okay, so if I reload it or I start it, then the values which I am retrieving, I will not be able to do that. My uh, values which are loaded into cache will be gone. So let me do it. Let me stop it. And now let me start it. See, it is showing problem getting cache because the values are gone. Okay. Similarly, if I run this, problem getting cache. Okay, the values are gone. So if I load XML again, then I will be able to access this all these again. Okay, so keep this thing in mind. Okay guys, so thank you so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for my next video where I'll be explaining how we can enable cache with the policy XML, right? And after that I will explain how we can work with multiple integration nodes using this global cache.